All right, good morning, everyone. And happy Wednesday morning to all of you. It's a great day in the city of St. Louis, a great day in the Jeff Vanderloo neighborhood as we celebrate a wonderful, wonderful achievement for a wonderful organization known as Doorways. I want to invite all of you again to please have a seat at this time. I understand there's some hot chocolate and some other treats that are available. Thanks to the catering staff for being here. My name is Sal Martinez. I serve as CEO of Employment Connection, located just outside of Jeff Vanderloo. And we're an organization like many who simply love Doorways and the work that it does. A little housekeeping. Let's all remember to stay socially distanced and to keep our masks on. I see some fancy masks out here today. You all are looking really good. And before we move forward with the actual program, I also want to let everyone know that this event is being streamed live on YouTube. And as we begin the proceedings, at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce a Doorways board member, Reverend Dr. Jeff Moore, who will provide us with our invocation. He will then be followed by the board chairman of Doorways, Ed Giganti. I think I got that right. Did I get that right, my man? All right, very good. Let us now hear from the Reverend Dr. Jeff Moore.
Please be with me in prayer. Holy One, decades ago, Doorways began as a commitment to provide compassionate care for our neighbors living with the human immunodeficiency virus. Today, we recommit in the midst of a global coronavirus pandemic to providing ongoing compassionate care. We ask, Holy One, that you be with us today in spirit and in truth, that you bless this site, this new endeavor, these community leaders and partners, those who will work here, and those who will receive care. We ask your blessing over this time, this people, this neighborhood, and this mission. We pray in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend.
Well, good morning again. This truly is a great day for Doorways. It's a great day in the history of this organization. Today we've reached a milestone on a journey that we began more than 3 years ago, a journey that will eventually bring us a beautiful new campus right here on this spot. And it will help us expand our mission to provide stable housing for people who are coming from homelessness and to contribute to an end to HIV disease. Now, it's a great honor for me to serve on the board of Doorways along with 24 dedicated community leaders, many of whom are here today. On behalf of all of our board members, I want to thank the rest of you, all of you, for joining us here. This is an important occasion as we begin a new chapter for Doorways. I want to offer a special welcome to our leaders of government who are here with us today. Mayor Lyda Krewson, Mayor of the City of St. Louis. Alderman Brandon Bosley, I don't think is here yet, but he's on his way. Dr. Frederick Eccles, Director of Health for the City of St. Louis. Mr. Otis Williams, who is Executive Director of the St. Louis Development Corporation. Missouri Representative and soon-to-be State Senator Steve Roberts, and Missouri Representative Lakeisha Bosley, who is also, congratulations on your re-election. She was here. I don't, oh, there she is. Thank you. Right in front. I missed you, yeah. So we're grateful to all of you for your ongoing support, especially the assistance that you provided us as we work to make this vision a reality. You know, funding a project like this takes many streams of support, both public and private. Over the past 3 years, Doorways has conducted a very successful capital campaign. We raised over $6 million to fund this construction. We raised that from individuals, corporations, foundations, and just so you know, there's still an opportunity for all of you to contribute as well if you haven't already. So if you'd like to do that, you can see our Director of Development, Jim Timmerberg. As you can tell, there are many, many people responsible for a project like this, and we thank all of them. But in closing, I'd like to give a special thank you to the person who had the vision, really the dream, and who's led all of us, the staff, the board, the volunteers, and donors, to this moment. And that person is our President and CEO, Opal Jones. So you'll hear from Opal in a little while, but just so you know, this day, more than anyone else, belongs to her. So congratulations, Opal. Thank you. And now I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Ed, and congratulations again to you as board chair and to your colleagues on the board. This is a wonderful day, and a lot of important key individuals in our community who we love and care about will be served by Doorways. At this time, you stole a little bit of my thunder, Brother Ed, but at this time, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, who was first elected to the Missouri House in November of 2017. He represents portions of St. Louis City from the Central Corridor east to the riverfront. During his 4 years in the House, he has served as the chair of the Special Committee on Police Reform, while also serving on the Judiciary, Utilities, and Workforce Development Committees. He has also served as the chair of the Missouri Legislative Black Caucus since 2018. However, our first speaker will soon become the youngest black senator in Missouri history when he takes office in January at the age of 32. That was a long time ago for me, Mayor Cruson, when I was 32. This is a title last held by Raymond Howard when he took office at the age of 34 in 1969. Our next speaker defeated his Republican challenger in the general election for Missouri State Senate, District 5, on November 3rd, 2020, receiving over 87% of the vote. All righty, that's worth it. I told him that wasn't exactly a nail biter. In his first term as state senator, he will serve as the Missouri Senate Democratic Caucus's minority whip, as he was recently elected to the leadership post by his fellow Democrats in the Senate. Let us now welcome the Honorable Stephen Roberts, the incoming state senator of the 5th District.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Sal, for that very generous introduction. I appreciate you, and to Opal for inviting me to be here today. It truly is my honor to be with you as we celebrate this wonderful moment, breaking ground on a new campus for Doorways. Today marks a major step, a pivotal moment for Doorways as they continue pushing to better the lives of our brothers and sisters living with HIV, but also for the people affected by it. More than 500 Missourians are diagnosed every year, and it changes their lives forever. This devastating virus has claimed far too many lives. When faced with the virus, victims also face the stigma, fear, anxiety, and depression. And in the face of all that, helplessness. But we can change that by taking a stand and seeking not just a cure, but a world where ignorance and fear have no hold over any of us. We can be the difference. We can lead the way by making this world better with just a simple act of compassion. You see, by laying the foundations here today, we're sending a message of hope and love, of acceptance and of unity. Because as these doors open, we tell all the people who live with HIV, who know the fear and uncertainty of living with the virus, that it's okay. Here, you can feel safe. Here, you can be free. Because we understand that the best way to treat this virus, to manage it and to prevent it, is to do so with compassion and care. So as we break down ground and lay down a foundation to create these new homes, we remember that together we can overcome anything. That by working together as a community, state, and nation, we can eliminate this health threat and win the war against HIV/AIDS. Together, we can make this world a better place for all who live in it. I'm proud to be a partner in the fight, and I'm proud to support Doorways and its partners because they recognize that it's not just about finding a cure, but finding support and safety in delivering resources and a home to provide stability in the face of uncertainty. So as I wrap up, I want to thank everyone who has worked so hard in making today happen. It's truly a beautiful moment like this because it shows how humanity can be a tool for greatness and a reminder that when we care for one another, we're that much closer to a better tomorrow. Thank you all.
Thank you, Senator Roberts. You got to get used to being called that, you know. Well done. Our next speaker represents part of the city of St. Louis, known as District 79 in the Missouri House of Representatives. She is now serving her first term, I think soon to be second term in office, after having first been elected in November of 2018. She was also elected by the Missouri Legislative Black Caucus to serve as their secretary and was instrumental in forming the Black Caucus for the Missouri Democratic Party. Our next speaker has been involved in politics and public service since she was a young woman, being part of the Hometown Neighborhood Organization and Ward Organization. She also currently serves as Democratic State Committeewoman and works with many organizations, including the Community First Organization, which serves the community through various programs, including the now famous Father-Son Camping in the Park, tour drives, business startups, and even today, she's hosting 2 food distribution events, including one at Employment Connection this afternoon, as she continues to serve her community in a tremendous way. At this time, let us now receive the Honorable Lakeisha Bosley, State Representative of the 79th District.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to try to be quick because I know we're all cold and we are trying to get out of here. First, Sal, thank you. He's known my family and myself for many years since I was a young Turk, as my father likes to say, in the game, as we call. Ms. Opal, thank you. So I'm also the sister of Alderman Brandon Bosley, who unfortunately couldn't be here with us today, but he sends his full support and gratitude for such an amazing project, and Ms. Opal for leading the way on it. It is an honor to be here today and be a part of such a great project. When COVID hit, no one really knew how it would expose the disparities and the inequities in our communities and our healthcare fields, and how unsupported those who are unprivileged and not privileged enough to have health care when fighting a virus that has claimed so many lives and affected them. When Ms. Jones called me 2 years ago to come and visit Doorways on Maryland and to see, as my father would like to call it, good fruit from good seeds that Doorways has sowed since 1988. Where we also have housing and a house problem, Doorways has stepped up and shown out for those who live with HIV and AIDS in our communities in our state. And for that, we give you a huge thank you and a huge show of gratitude. I am excited to see this project come to fruition and witness for years from now the deep and its reaching to change many lives in our communities and others just like it. And I will step down because, as I said, I was going to be quick as possible. So thank you, Ms. Opal. Thank you. Thank you to all the donors and the partners. We greatly appreciate it, and I can't wait to sit in it. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Bosley. In April of 2017, our next speaker won a historic election to become the first woman to serve as mayor of the city of St. Louis. Prior to that election, she served as alderwoman of the very powerful 28th Ward. She is also a CPA and served as a CFO for an international design firm until her election as mayor in 2017. As mayor, she has focused intently on public safety, naming my good friend Judge Jimmy Edwards as Director of Public Safety and John Hayden as Chief of Police. She also led the effort to pass Proposition P, a half-cent sales tax to improve the salary and benefit increases for our police and firefighters, and created $1 million each for summer jobs, recreation for kids, mental health services, and demolition. She is also focused on reducing vacant buildings in the city of St. Louis, cleaning up the community, increasing economic and workforce development, and providing high-quality services to all residents, businesses, and visitors in the city of St. Louis. She is also known for her civility, determination, and fairness in addressing issues. She will also be known as the mayor who brought an internationally recognized violence prevention program to the city of St. Louis called Cure Violence, and as the mayor who helped to navigate the great city of St. Louis through the COVID-19 pandemic. Let us now welcome the Honorable Lyda Krewson, Mayor of the City of St. Louis.
Good morning, everyone. Sal, thank you for that very nice introduction. And thanks to all of you for being here today on this really important day. Let me say, first of all, congratulations to Doorways, to Opal, to the Doorways Board, to the donors, to the people with the vision to make this happen. For more than 30 years, almost 35 now, Doorways has really led the way, providing housing, utility assistance, and aid to those most at risk to homelessness due to HIV and AIDS. This is important work. No one in our community deserves to be on the street because of their positive status. More than that, you have shown us all why stable housing is so important in helping those with HIV and AIDS stay healthy, live longer, live richer lives. So today we are here to celebrate an exciting new chapter in your distinguished legacy, one that will expand your ability to serve the most vulnerable among us. A new headquarters and a new 50-unit apartment complex with client service center and other offices right here in the Jeff Vanderloo neighborhood. With this location, you not only further your commitment to the people living with HIV/AIDS, but you are also helping us as a city further the opportunities that everyone will have once they are here. NGA, 1 block to the north, $1.7 billion project, the largest federal project ever, investing right here in this neighborhood. We're also going to be improving Jefferson from Highway 40 all the way up to St. Louis Avenue to make it more pedestrian friendly and transit friendly. Other new projects are also in the pipeline right along this stretch of Jefferson. So there is tremendous momentum and positive energy right here to look forward to. Let me just say that there is tremendous momentum going on in this city today, even though we are all still struggling to coexist with COVID. But people everywhere across this city are continuing to work to provide jobs for people, to provide future jobs for folks, and to allow folks to have a better and a richer life. So I just want to end by reminding you that we're 2 weeks away from World AIDS Day on December the 1st. So as we're confronted, yes, again, with a global health crisis, I hope you'll take some time to remember all those that we have lost to HIV/AIDS and join us in committing and recommitting to do all we can for those living with it. Thank you. Thank you to Doorways. Thank you, Opal. Thanks to everyone who helped. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Mayor Cruson. Our next speaker serves as the Executive Director of the St. Louis Development Corporation. SLDC is responsible for bringing people, jobs, and investment to the city of St. Louis, and he and his team have certainly accomplished that and then some. Prior to joining SLDC, he served over 28 years in the U.S. Army and retired at the rank of colonel. Thank you for your service, sir. Some of his key assignments included duty as Chief of Staff of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Since coming to St. Louis in 1998, he has had a leadership role as the city of St. Louis has enjoyed billions of dollars of new investment, not only downtown, but in many other neighborhoods in the city of St. Louis. He has previously served 3 years as a member of the National Board of Directors of the Society of American Military Engineers and is a past recipient of the 2016 J.H. Pelker Levy Stone Award from the Downtown St. Louis Partnership, and he received the 2016 Governor's Award for Career Service in Economic Development. And if all of that isn't enough, he is also a registered professional engineer in the District of Columbia. Ladies and gentlemen, let me now introduce you to a colonel and a gentleman, Mr. Otis Williams, Executive Director of St. Louis Development Corp.
Well, thank you, Sal. I have to remember to tell my staff not to send you the bio that you just read. But thank you all very much. This is a great day for us here, a big day. And this is the beginning of the brick and mortar milestone for Doorways. And I look here at the folks who have assembled and want to thank all of you, your board, Opal, the staff, and all of the donors for making this day happen. Obviously, this is a point in time where we have a lot of partnerships, and you can't do a lot of the things that are being accomplished without having good partners. And this is a testament to you as the leader, but also to all those folks who are joining in to make this day possible. So thank you very much for this opportunity. And as the mayor indicated, a lot is happening along this stretch. And next year, we will start the major construction and change of Jefferson Avenue as it moves toward Natural Bridge. There will be other developments that will follow, but this being the first major one that I think will essentially get completed. There are others that are underway, but the NGA is actually working as we speak. So we understand the needs of Doorways, and we are very happy that we were able to help move this forward. And I just want to say thank you to all of you, and we're hopeful to have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Otis. And you know I only read part of your bio. Your accomplishments are so vast, I'd have been up here for 20 minutes. All righty. Our next speaker serves as acting director of the City of St. Louis's Department of Health, where he serves as the first medical doctor to serve in that position since 2007. Prior to becoming director, he serves as the director of communicable disease, vector, and veterinary programs for the St. Louis County Department of Public Health, where he was responsible for overseeing daily operations, strategic planning, fiscal management of a multi-million-dollar budget, and program development and implementation. Prior to starting his position with St. Louis County, he also served as a physician in the U.S. Navy, so thank you for your service to our country, sir, where he managed a staff of medical and ancillary personnel. He holds a bachelor's degree in biology, pre-med from Clark Atlanta University, and a medical degree from the Boston University of Medicine. He is a current member of the American Public Health Association, Council for State and Territorial Epidemiologists, the American Sexual Health Association, and several other professional organizations and national groups. Perhaps most importantly for us as residents and employees in the city of St. Louis, he has shown that he has the talent, passion, energy, and commitment to work with the mayor and her team at the health department to truly lead us through this pandemic. Let us now welcome Dr. Frederick Eccles, the Acting Director of the Health Department, City of St. Louis.
Good morning, everyone. Sal, thanks for those great remarks. Opal, as everyone has said before, we really are appreciative of your leadership, your vision for looking out for our most vulnerable populations, not only just in the city of St. Louis, but in the St. Louis region. So we're really grateful to have you at the helm of Doorways. Over time, studies have shown that housing in particular is linked with the risk for HIV exposure and transmission and the care of persons living with HIV/AIDS, HIV vulnerability, and poor outcomes among the infected. Although several factors influence health outcomes for persons living with HIV, the importance of housing, status of HIV prevention, and care has been recognized. Housing occupies a structural and a strategic position as an intermediate structural factor linking upstream economic, social, and cultural determinants to the more immediate physical and social environments in which everyday life is lived. The City of St. Louis Department of Health is grateful to support Doorways, its partners, and stakeholders in their efforts to improve quality of life and health outcomes for persons affected by HIV and AIDS. We're here to support, and we're grateful for the work that we've seen happen over the last few years, and we're really excited about the work that's going to occur over the upcoming years. So thank you for your leadership, and we're here to support you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Eccles. And I refuse to call you acting director of anything. Denzel Washington is an actor. You're the real deal. So you're my director of the health department. As we all know, magical developments like what we are all here to celebrate do not happen by chance. The Doorways team of board members, staff members, and a host of their community partners and supporters have banded together to make sure that this agency takes yet another bold step in its commitment to serve its clients. In order for projects like this to become a reality, it certainly takes a lot of resources and financial support. And so in that regard, let us hear from Mr. John Beatty, co-chair of the Beyond Tonight Capital Campaign. Is Mr. Beatty here? Good morning, sir.
Good morning. A couple things I want to say. Real quickly, the 2 years plus ago, fall of 2018, I got a call from Opal out of the blue. And she said, I have an opportunity for you. And at the time, I had a pretty big opportunity on my plate because I was the Chief Human Resources Officer for BJC Healthcare. And she said, I need you to run the capital campaign for our new development, which we'd known about because it's been part of our strategic plan for about a year before that. And I said, well, that's interesting because I've never done that before. And she said, don't worry, it'll be easy. So with that, I said, well, how much we got to raise? And I think in October of 18, she said $3 million. And then in the spring of 19, she said it's $5 million. And in the fall of 19, she said it's actually $7 million. So as these things go, we continue to do it. But it's been a great ride, and I really enjoyed doing it. We've been phenomenally successful. I think, as Ed said earlier, we're a little over $6 million now and we will hit that $7 million mark somewhere in the spring, I'm sure. And if anybody wants to help us do that, we're wide open for your assistance. You'll see on the back of your program that there's a whole list of both private and public donors. Almost everybody you'll see on there has some relationship to Doorways. Many are board members, and I want to thank the board members who have contributed and have helped us get other people to contribute. We really appreciate that. We'd like to thank my co-chair in this, Mary Schoolman, who could not be here today. She's been actually the driver on many of these things, and I've helped when I can, but she's really been the person on the front of this, and really appreciate that. Another one is Tom and Carol Voss, who have done a tremendous job. They've been long-time, very active supporters of Doorways, and Tom has used his vast network to draw in some of his peers and some of the people he knows in the community. And finally, Wendy Dyer, who has been the driver behind this. Is Wendy here today? Not here today. Wendy is the person who's really pushed us in areas where we haven't gone before, really trained us on how to run a capital campaign and what we need to do. And then finally, what I want to do is to thank Opal. She has been the driver. You've heard this from many people, and you're going to hear from her shortly. She's had the vision, she's had the energy, she's had the passion. She is relentless in getting us to have these meetings with potential donors. She's absolutely great to work with. We really appreciate everything she's done, not only during the capital campaign, but for Doorways and for the community in general. And as I share with people when I have my meetings, we're in the process of redefining how HIV and AIDS, those people with HIV and AIDS are treated in the communities. We're looking at housing first, because without housing, healthcare doesn't matter, and we know that. So we want to make sure that we're pushing that direction, and it's a model that's nationally recognized, and it's right here in St. Louis, so we're leading the way. So with that, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for those who've made a donation, and those of you who want to. I'll be around a little bit after. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Our next scheduled speaker, Joe Brinkman, could not join us today, but we have been joined by Neil Chase of Trivers, who is a project manager. Neil, I'd like to call you up. I will say I certainly have had the pleasure to work with Trivers for many years in my capacity as chairman of the St. Louis Housing Authority. It's a quality organization. Opal, you and your team made the right choice. So Neil, please come up at this time and share remarks with us.
Thank you for the introduction. Thank you, Opal, for the opportunity to get up and say a few words. Appreciate that. We at Trivers actively seek opportunities to help nonprofit organizations. It's truly meaningful work, and we couldn't imagine a better organization than Doorways to partner with. Over the past several years, our team has gotten to know Doorways and to really understand how Doorways serves its clients. And we're very excited to see construction begin on a building designed to strengthen and support the mission of Doorways. It's a design meant to inspire the staff and to inspire those who will ultimately call this their home. We look forward to working with BSI throughout the construction process. I'd like to say thank you to everyone at Rise Community Development for the opportunity to be part of the project. And I want to say thank you to everyone at Doorways for the opportunity to be part of this project. Thank you, Opal. Thank you, Gary. Thank you to all the staff. You've been extremely generous with your time, and we really appreciate that you engaged us throughout the design process, through all those Wednesday and Friday digital, virtual design meetings. You all are extremely passionate about what you do, and it made the process both rewarding, engaging, and meaningful. So thank you for being a great client. I guess in closing, we at Trivers, we're really grateful to be part of a development that is going to be an asset to Doorways and will allow Doorways to extend their reach as an anchor to this neighborhood and community and St. Louis region. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Neil. Of course, once you identify a fabulous architect to help design your project, you must then find a great general contractor to make your vision become a brick and mortar reality. In this regard, the Doorways team has found a GC partner who has worked on such great city developments as the residences of Chake Park Plaza, the Laurel Apartments, 1801 Park Avenue, and the Georgian development, formerly known as City Hospital No. 1. Who is this great construction firm? Well, let us now hear from their esteemed president and CEO, Mr. Paul Shaughnessy of BSI Contractors. Come on up, Paul.
Thank you for that intro. 25 years ago, BSI first got the opportunity to get to know the Doorways organization when we were selected to be the builder on what is now known as the Cooper House. We got to know the visionary leadership of Lynn Cooper. We got to know the compassionate care provided by Doorways for all their clients in need, people who were otherwise neglected and ignored by our society. In the words of Yogi Berra, it's like deja vu all over again for us. Here we are 25 years later. Doorways is still led by a visionary and inspirational leader in Opal Jones, still doing tremendous work, but with an even larger footprint than 25 years ago. It is, for us, a great honor to be on this team. We've really enjoyed working with the great people at Trivers and Rise Development. Opal and Gary, we thank you for the trust that you've placed in our company. And on behalf of the whole BSI team, especially if you are here today, Fred McCall, Anna Sutton, who have worked so hard to get to this point, Steve Poskin, who will work really hard to get us to the end, we will not let you down. So thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Our next speaker truly needs no introduction in the local world of community and economic development, but I will try to do it anyway. Our next speaker has been with RISE since 1999 and has been its executive director and president since late 2002. He has worked in 3 successive City of St. Louis mayoral administrations and is the former director of the City of St. Louis's Community Development Agency, now called administration, which administers the community development block grant and home programs for the City of St. Louis. That's when I first started making him lose his hair. Since then, he has amassed over 30 years of experience in community development and has considerable knowledge and experience in development finance and deal structuring for development in more difficult to develop areas like the Jeff Vanderloo neighborhood, which is where we are right now. He is a founding member of the Missouri Workforce Housing Association, where he serves as a member of its executive committee, and was the founding president of the organization. He also serves on the board of directors of the Landmarks Association of St. Louis, and he formerly served as the organization's president as well. He is also a former chairman of the Greater St. Louis Regional Empowerment Zone and has been a member of the University of Missouri of St. Louis Public Policy Research Center's Advisory Committee, Fannie Mae's Southwest Regional Housing and Community Development Advisory Council, and the Enterprise Community Partners, Inc.'s Neighborhood Advisory Board. He is truly a person who loves St. Louis, and he has given tirelessly to lead efforts in the ongoing revitalization of the community. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce the man, the myth, and living legend of community development, Mr. Stephen Acree, president of RISE.
Oh gosh, I don't know if I can live up to that introduction, Sal, but I'll try. Thank you so much. And I'd like to start out by saying that when Opal and Doorways came to RISE about the possibility of partnering in this project, it was one of the sort of most satisfying and exciting times for us to have this opportunity, not just because of the mission of Doorways and what it does in our community, but sort of linking to the past. I had been many years ago involved in a small way in helping to finance the development of the building where Doorways is currently located on Maryland. And it was nice to know that we would be able to help them in the next phase of their history. So, Opal, thank you for that opportunity. There's an awful lot of people, obviously, involved in doing this kind of work. And to start with, thanking Opal and her team, including Gary Mudd, Todd Garton, Pat Plumley, and Brenda Malone. We've been working together for some time now to get to this point, and they've been truly a great team to work with. I'd also like to thank the Missouri Housing Development Commission, and locally, the amount of collaboration and support and coordination that we have had with the City of St. Louis and quite a few different departments in the City of St. Louis has been really extraordinary. It always takes a lot of work through various processes to do this kind of work, but that was especially true here. There are a lot of factors involved in the site assembly and putting this deal together that required an awful lot of work and assistance from our friends in the City of St. Louis. So in particular, I would like to thank the aldermen here, Alderman Brandon Bosley and Alderwoman Marlene Davis, who was very helpful. I'd like to thank the mayor and her office, Otis Williams and Laura Costello, in particular, the Director of Real Estate at SLDC, for their help, Dale Rusatz and Zach Wilson, Don Rowe and Cecilia Dvorak at the city's planning department, Matt Moak at CDA, and April Ford Griffin and Loretta Heiner at the Affordable Housing Commission, Mary Hart and Dylan Mosier at the zoning department, Jamie Wilson and Jennifer Waters Jones in the street department, and Jama Dodson at the St. Louis Mental Health Board. These are all people who work every day in the city and government and related organizations to really facilitate what we're seeing here. It takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication to do that, and we really thank them for the work that they do. Given all of the complexities of the site assembly here, the role of St. Louis Title Company and John Schaefer there, we would like to thank them. They have been working with us to help us with that. And the team at Advantage Capital, including Jonathan Goldstein, Ruth Sorrell, Paul Olson, and Rachel Robards. And our friends at Busey Bank, Tom Rees and Tom Schaefer. And then, most importantly, I'd like to thank the staff at RISE who have gotten to this point with this development. Mark Stroker, Colleen Hafner, Rick Bonish, Sam Stevens, and Larry Perlmutter. So we'd like to recognize all of those people. It truly took not just a village, but almost the whole city to make this happen. So thank you all so much.
Well done, Stephen. Some time ago, I received a phone call from my good friend Mark Stroker, Director of Real Estate for RISE. You might remember this, Mark. And he was asking me about this property on Jefferson and Stoddard, and he began quizzing me about if I knew the owner and if I can get in touch with them about their interest in acquiring the property. Well, I was kind of having a bit of a bad day at that point, and so I was about to say, Mark, I don't have time to help you find some landowner today. But before I could finish, he said, but Sal, it's for Opal Jones and Doorways. Well, needless to say, once I heard Opal's name, I rushed him off the phone and called the owner of the property and said, "Sir, you need to sell your property to Doorways." Because I have to tell you that not only do I love Opal Jones, I love Doorways. I can remember first being introduced to Doorways years ago when April Ford Griffin, who was then Alderwoman of the 5th Ward, asked me to attend a meeting with her and Lynn Cooper, the late great former CEO. And I was blown away by the services that Doorways provided for its clients at that time. Well, not long after I was appointed CEO of Employment Connection, Opal invited me to tour the Doorways location on Maryland. And once again, I was blown away at the comprehensive quality services that they provide for their clients. It certainly takes a special person to lead a special agency. And so at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the lovely, the talented, the focused, and profound President and CEO of Doorways, Opal M. Jones.
Let's give Sal a hand, right? I love you too, Sal. And guys, I apologize about the flyaway here. I'm gonna have a big Beyonce moment up here this morning because this is a very windy site. I've often said that I was naive when we set out on this journey. Thankfully so, otherwise I don't know that I would have ever pursued this or we would have ever done this had we known how difficult this would be. And while big things are hard to do, they are made easier when you have the expertise and the assistance of all these great organizations and folks we've heard about today. This project is an example of what can happen when a community comes together for the greater good. There are so many people to thank. First, the Doorways family. Today is made possible due to a solid foundation built from the hundreds of previous and current staff members, board members, and volunteers who have all made contributions to this organization to put us on a path to be able to do this kind of monumental work. And my predecessor, Dr. Lynn Cooper, whom we've heard about, she instilled a standard of excellence at our agency that is maintained to this day. Our staff is exemplary, and it is my true honor to represent them today. First, none more so than our brilliant CFO, Gary Mudd. Gary, simply put, we would not be here if it had not been for you being by my side every step of the way. Much of the credit goes to you. Pat Plumley, our Chief Program Officer, I'm changing your title to Chief Creative Officer. Pat always jokes that she gets anxious when I call her to say I have a new idea, but Pat, the feeling is mutual. Todd, Jim, Karen, and Michael, our fundraising, grants, and events team. Thank you for everything. Because of them, I anticipate that by the end of the year, we will have raised more than $19 million of our $22 million goal for phase 1 of this project. And to our program directors and all the staff working at Doorways who are feverishly serving hundreds of people a week right now impacted by this economy and leading our COVID response in the most nimble, compassionate way. Thank you. To our board led by Ed Giganti and previously Dr. Jay Moore, thank you for believing in this project and our ability to pull it off. You have never wavered in your support and generously opened up your wallets to make it happen. To our capital campaign cabinet led by Mary Schoolman, John Beatty, Tom and Carol Voss, you all had one of the biggest jobs to do. When we started donor visits, we didn't have a location, we didn't know what the building would look like, we didn't know how much any of this would cost, but you sold this project with such energy and belief, which was infectious. And a big shout out to Wendy Dyer, the brains behind our campaign. To our public funders, CDA, the Affordable Housing Commission, Mental Health Board, and the Missouri Housing Development Commission, and the individual donors, corporations, and foundations who contributed money. Thank you for your investment in our clients' future. I know your resources are scarce, and I promise that we will be good stewards of these funds. You have entrusted us with your own money and millions of tax dollars, and we don't take that lightly. To our development partners, Advantage Capital, BSI Constructors, Boosie Bank, Rise, Trivers, and Vatterott Properties, thank you for everything you've done to walk us through this complicated venture. Trivers, you have designed a beautiful building for us that was beyond anything we ever expected. And I know BSI will do a great job building it because Gary and Herman are going to hold them to account. So thank you in advance. And Rise, Doorways 2.0 wouldn't exist without you. Stephen, you have assembled an excellent team of professionals who are smart, creative, intuitive, flexible, patient, and exceptional at real estate development. Mark, Colleen, Rick, and Sam, you all are like family to Doorways. I told them early on that I'm a jealous lover and I want our project to be preeminent, and they have done everything in their power to make it a success. Thank you. To our faithful public servants, this project was made its way through just about every office at City Hall, which we heard about. I can say without reservation that SLDC and the mayor's office have done everything in their power to help Doorways. Otis and Lyda and your staffs, thank you. And Alderman Bosley, who couldn't make it here today, at one point I thought the man was going to block my phone number. He is a true servant of the people. When we first came to him with this project, he said, "I'll get behind you if my constituents want it." He made us do the community engagement and get input from our neighbors, and he listened. And when he saw that they were on board, he was on board and has since worked nonstop to push through all of our municipal approvals. Thank you. To our service partners, BHR Employment Connection, hey, Employment Connection, Food Outreach, St. Louis University Psychological Services Center, and Vivint Health. Thank you for your countless letters of support and helping to support forging this vision with our staff to best serve our clients. Dozens, if not hundreds of people have somehow played a role in this project. Folks like Paul McKee, who helped us assemble the land, and EMD Consulting, who just signed on to assist in developing the programming. Thank you to all these folks that we can't name individually due to time constraints. To our family and friends, you've supported us and sacrificed your time with us so that we could work the long hours necessary to pull off an endeavor like this. Thank you. To this community, thank you for your open minds and hearts. To this date, we have never received any pushback regarding this project. You have my commitment that we will continue to be good neighbors just as we have for nearly 20 years. We will operate a clean, safe facility with the highest standards possible. And although there is a lot of progress and building going on in this area, we will honor the people who have always lived here with faces that look like mine and make space for them. Finally, to our clients, you are the inspiration for this vision. You have showed us what it's like to live boldly, with courage in a world that is unfair and uncertain. My promise to you is that you will be at the heart of this facility and every decision made. So what exactly is this vision? Doorways 2.0 is not just the next version of something that exists. Rather, it's a transformative approach to HIV and homelessness by providing care as we work to stabilize people and end the forward transmission of HIV. Our work is not rooted in the traditional biomedical methodology. Rather, we will tackle HIV through the social determinants of health with the knowledge that our founders imparted on us, that there is no health care without housing. Now, in addition to our housing services we have provided for decades, we will offer 50 new housing units for the highest risk individuals experiencing housing instability or chronic homelessness. These units will be co-located with a new state-of-the-art services center that will offer behavioral health services to tackle the mental health and substance use needs disorders. Employment and education assistance, financial literacy, and healthy living workshops, among other services, will be provided. Recognizing our expertise is in housing, our new programming is all about maintaining partnerships with the other nonprofits here who will lend their expertise in ensuring our services are flexible and evolving to meet the community's needs. We will leverage the funds we've raised to not only advance our work, but advance the work of others by making this new center an asset to the community, whereby other nonprofits and community groups will have use. We proudly lay claim to this busy intersection on Jefferson Avenue in a way that addresses the awful stigma around HIV. In exposing who we are saying to the community that we are proud of who we are, and we will never go back into the shadows again. From the bottom of my heart to all those here and those watching virtually, thank you for your part in making this dream become a reality. Now let's go move some dirt.
All right.